Hey y'all. It's been a minute, I know. I didn't have a whole lot to say for a bit there. I was going in for, blood work every week after my procedure. I got my T cells back on July 1st. And so it's just kind of been a wait and see kind of thing. And I didn't really have anything new. For a couple of weeks, I had to get growth shots because my neutrophils or my white blood cells were really low. Um, so I had to get shots in my belly, but then that kind of went away. So all of my normal blood work is great, like my white blood cells, and I'm chronically anemic now. Um, so my red blood cells are always going to be low. But uh, anyway, so I was kind of waiting to see when I went in for my almost 100-day checkup what those results were because that's when they do a PET scan and they do the bone marrow biopsy and all the blood work, not just the CBC. So here's kind of how it all played out. So it came back. My PET scan came back mixed. So it means some areas have not been affected. My arms, my legs are still showing quite a bit of lesions. Other areas have improved. Like apparently I had some in my soft tissue around my heart. I had some cancer cells around there, and they have improved. So that's my PET scan, basically, in a nutshell. Mixed reviews. So my nurse practitioners at my specialist's office said she's disappointed in the results, but she's not devastated. So, you know, I guess take that how you will. My bone marrow biopsy, they did just the standard measurement, showed only 5% of cancer cells in my blood. So that was good because when I had it done in March, I showed 70%. So that is a huge decrease. However, because it's me, we got to have all these conditional stuffs. They do a deeper analysis. I'm not going to pronounce it right, but it's like a clonescu, something like that. Anyway, it showed 17 cells per million, which sounds amazing. However, when I got it done in March, I only had 4. So I actually, when they did the deeper dive, wound up having more cancer cells than I did in March. Now, they could stay there. I could stay at that level. Or it can improve. Remember, I was part of a trial. So we don't, it's all, who knows? I'm basing my stuff on my past history. And, I have a friend who also went through this trial. Hers did not work. So she's already looking for other trials to participate in. But based on my past history with this, I'm assuming I'm going to have about 3 more months, maybe, before my numbers are like crazy high again, and we'll have to look at a different treatment or trial or something. Anyway, so it is kind of mixed reviews. The good news is I don't feel particularly bad. I'm having some pain and and fatigue and things like that. I've had some conversations with some friends, and they're like, you're always so positive. Tell the truth how it is. And I'm like, it's kind of like when I moved back to Missouri from Wisconsin, and I'd post pictures on Facebook, and my mom called me one time. She's like, "You drink all the time," and I said, "I hardly drink at all." Well, all your pictures on Facebook. And I said, well, I'm not going to post pictures of me sitting on the couch watching TV. You post things that when you feel good and things like that. So it's not that I'm trying to paint a rose colored, I can't even think of a word. But anyway, it's not that I'm trying to minimize any of this. I'm not. I am concerned, but it's not going to do any good to be concerned. So, you take each day as it is. I feel good today. And that's where we go. I am very blessed. I have amazing people in my life. I have my relationship with Jesus is just growing by leaps and bounds. If you don't know him, you need to meet him. But anyway, and that gives me a lot of reassurance. But with that said, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I hope everybody is having a most amazing day. And thank you for your continued prayers. Take care. Love you. Bye.